Well, hello, hello. I guess we're hail, the gang's all here, or we'll be here shortly. Ro, nice to see you. Chewy, Joel.
I guess we're hail the gang's on.
Let's see. I think why am I doing this?
Nice to see
Oh,
you.
I know why.
Let's see.
There. Fixed it. Oh, Fishy Fun's going to be lurking. We'll let you. Louis. Louis Sanchez. Hi, Louis. Nice to see you. Alice KH. Hi, Alice. Sister Luckmo. Hello, Sister Luckmo. Where am I? Okay, I know where I am. Nice to see you guys. I've had a kind of a crazy day. Um, I had to go to the doctor for my hand, and he said he thinks that the surgery has failed, which means his finger's not going up as far as it should. But I tell you frankly, that works for me. If I'm not supposed to do that, he said, "Don't do that." Then he asked me to do it. Then he says, "Don't." So whatever. Uh, Fish Tropic, hello. Yeah, way. Yes, way. That's why I had to stream this late because I had a doctor's appointment. Let me see. Bring the fish here. Let me show them. We have a young man buying all of them, buying these fish. We got a clown knife fish. Oh, we can't show the other one. It's in a bucket. And a jaguar. And he's got a 12-inch arowana. Nice. He brought about a 12-inch peacock bass in yesterday. So we're trading for these. Well, I'm a little down about it, but Sean, but I guess I'll get over it. He's just he's kind of a perfectionist. This surgeon, and he was very disappointed that it's not perfect. But I think I'm not sure it was a whole lot better before that. Maybe. Oh well. Well, he's giving me 2 more weeks to see how it does. Water Wizard. Well, we are making it sort of. We're getting through. I just had a young man buy a couple of my big fish. He brought one in and took three out, so that's kind of a nice deal. Uh, Heaven Bound. Hello, Heaven Bound. Chewy, so let me see if I got everybody. Joel, Rowe, Fishy Fun, Rowe, Sean, Lewis, Ellis. Who's that? Jason. Jason, hello. Carrie Nature, Jody Chumento. Jody. Is this Jody? Is this the Jody I know and love? I have two good friends that come in. Uh, they both have the same name. They're both Jody. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Nice to see you, Jody. James Ukalak. Ukalak. Chewy. Yes, sir. Y'all square there? What's the matter? Are you waiting for something? He's not paying attention to it. Hidden Ellis Fish Tropic, Sean ODT. Ellis, well, you don't need. I lost this. Where was it? Says Chewy had a nice little chat with Marco. Sean, Chewy. Kind of figured that you would have Sean ODT. Cool. Jody, yes, it is. Hi, Jody. Is that both of you? Are you both there? Are Jody and Jody there? Sharpies, Models, and Aquatics. Evening. The BCFR Aquatics. Hello, hello, hello. Medical High TV. Hi, Medical High. Nice to see you down the room. Hold us here. Inbound Farm. What is this? Medical High TV just gifted $5.49. Thank you so much. That will put me over 100. Is that amazing? Not quite did it in a month, but 5 weeks. Not bad. I'll get my first check, I guess, the end of this month for $100 or thereabouts. Well, maybe plus whatever I do this month. So that'd be great. Understand that it'll do less than 100. How are the rainbows? Medical asks. I was looking at them this morning. They're all alive and well. It's going to take a while for them to color up. I find that with rainbows, it takes a couple of weeks for them to really get into their vibrant colors. I don't know whether that's my tanks or whether it's simply their behavior. Once they do, then they're real strong. So because they don't seem to be stressed, I tolerate that without feeling like I need to do anything else. Texas Fish Limited is here. You know what? I'm going to jump over to YouTube because I can learn more. We've got 31. Those are $10. So we have 31 watching. Nice. And 16 have clicked on the thumbs up. We need some more thumbs up there. But including myself, I guess. 17. How's your day going? Hope your hand is healing up with no pain. Sean, it's no pain. I've not had any pain at all. Unfortunately, I had an appointment with the doctor this afternoon, which is why I was on earlier. And he thinks that it's failed because he thinks it ought to be straighter. And I told him, well, it's straight enough. I can live with that. Let's see, you know what I need to do here? Since there. I'm going to get backed up here, I can tell. Marco is from Italy and is a member of the Italian Cichlid Association. The world is small on the internet, isn't it ever? Amazing. Well, we've got people from nice, pretty pigs. Here, let me see. Let me show. So, this Jerry just bought my employee just bought a really pretty piece of driftwood. I need to get to the other camera so we can show it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Nice. Where was that? What tank was it in?
That bottom long.
Oh, yeah, where I threw a lot of them. That really is pretty. Yeah, nice. All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Oh, all a part of networking. Yes, indeed, Chewy. Hello, William Jansen. Tommy Denda. Hi, nice to see you. And Susan is here. Hello, Susan. When are you going to make your big move, Susan? When are you leaving town to go up to be with your mother? Looking forward to conversations. Thanks for putting me in touch with him. Okay, did I get caught up? I think I did. Alice says, my brother's finger is way more bent. That looks almost straight. It does to me too. And I can raise it to there. So he's just such a perfectionist. If it ain't perfect, he's upset with his patient, of course, not with himself. So it was my fault. Well, probably was. Probably was my fault. Yes, that was a lovely fish hall, Carrie Nature. Don't need that finger anyway. Right. That's what Alice said. Yeah. Oh, well. What I was wondering about what time is it there, Alice? 5 o'clock here. Must be midnight or something there. Oh, let's see. We're both here. Jody says we're both here. Hi, girls. Nice to see you. Nice to have you with us. We can get you online. Anybody wants to come online, just say the word, and I will try to make it happen. Let's see. I haven't done that much. Row. You know what? We need to make Row moderator. There we go. Row, you are now a moderator. Susan, Chewy, how are we doing here? Row, would you like me to bring you some Tennessee driftwood? You betcha. A truckload. Yeah, absolutely. I would love it. Any hardwood you've got, particularly if it's out of the water. Absolutely perfect. April after Easter. Okay, Susan. So you're kind of jumping the gun here a little bit. Yeah, I know. Chewy says when you have to uproot your life, speaking to Susan, it does get difficult. Amen. Sharpies, 10 p.m. here in the UK. Be careful who you invite up. Oh well, pajamas are acceptable. Chewy, I have a fair idea of Italian due to someone that was in my past, but I can only read it a little. Russian I can read in English text, but not their alphabet. I understand that. Sean is saying, I understand I've been trying not to buy fish. I'm out of tanks until I get the shed done. Right, you are. Rose says, I don't know how to be a mod. Well, you're doing it. You're doing it. Just let it grow on you. It'll be fine. Take a course somewhere. Talk to Cindy. She'll teach you. Chewy, help me out here, says Ro. Ah, you'll be fine, Ro. You'll be fine. Just right. Sean says just make sure live stream is respectful. Absolutely. And she's asking people to hit the like button. So that's all she needs to do. That's a good start. Short visit to X situation, make plans, gotta go to sister, my pastor, Susan. Yeah, okay. Rose says, alrighty then. Yeah, you'll be great. Whew. Sean's talking about Finnish, as in the language and the people. Let's see. I'm jumping back and forth too much and I'm getting lost. All right. Chewy. Talking about row. I'll tell you what to do, Susan. If you might be back in 6 months, turn everything off, leave the water in, take the plants and the fish out, cover it with saran wrap, and let it sit. It'll be good for 6 months to a year, just like that. When you come back, take the saran wrap off and put a filter back in it, sponge filter or whatever, and just get it going again. You don't need to break it down. It can sit there covered so it can't evaporate. Actually, if you do not cover it, it will not all evaporate. It'll form it'll evaporate down about 2/3, and then that last 1/3 will not evaporate off. It'll stay there pretty much indefinitely, unless there's a breeze going through. Um, it'll hold enough humidity in that lower level to keep the water from evaporating off. But put a cover on it. Put a piece of saran wrap or glass or anything, and it will be fine. Hello, Teresa Cookie. Sharpie said at this rate, I'll have a grow out tub in my bedroom. Yeah, I've done that. Daniken, hello, nice to see you. No, just leave it. It'll be fine. So long as you don't have any fish or plants in it, nothing can happen to it. Just cover it, seal it with saran wrap, and leave it alone. Don't worry about it. It'll be just fine. No odors. It's going to be sealed, remember? You're going to have a cover on it. Won't be any odors. There goes Ro, hard at work. Don't forget to hit the like button. Good girl. Chewy, the advantage of substrates. Yeah, you bet. That's right. It can sit there for years. I have a number of snowbird customers who do that year after year. They'll bring me their fish when they're going back north. They've even taken to leaving their plants in and just putting it by a window so it gets a little light. And they come back, the plants are fine, take it off. They've even found fish that they missed that were doing just fine. It's amazing what these little critters can tolerate. Tommy Denda says your subscribe numbers are growing. Yeah, it's slow, but it's coming. Thank you. There you go, too. You got it. Right, girl. ER, right. There she goes. Fishy fun, interesting topic. What's the topic? Oh, uh, Susan putting her tanks to bed. Yeah, that is an interesting topic, isn't it? Yeah, I do it routinely with my customers who want to have fish while they're down here, but don't want to have to set up a tank every time they come back. And this makes it really easy and very effective. I haven't yet worked up the courage to ask them to leave their fish in the tanks, maybe one or two. I'll tell you, I had a Jack Dempsey once that flipped out of my net in my old fish room, and I lost it, couldn't find it. A year later, I found it in a tank sitting on the floor. It was getting just a little ray of sunlight, and it was healthy as a horse. It was fine and happy. been in that tank for a year with no feeding. Now, notice I didn't say no food because aquariums, if they're set up as natural aquariums, produce food. It may be very tiny and it may be very infrequent, but they produce food sufficient for fish to survive. Fish do not eat heavily ever. That's why they're hungry all the time. So they're ready to take advantage of whatever is there. If a fish is not hungry, it's sick. And the best way to make a fish sick is to overfeed it. So there you go. A good way to show the breeding cycle of killifish. Yes, sir, absolutely. That's an interesting thought. We could do that. We could put killies in. Oh, I'll have to do that. That's a really good idea. I'll have to get some killies um, for one of my snowbirds and have them leave them in there while they're away for the summer. And when they come back, they should have babies. Very cool idea. That should work. Medical high. I have a group of Malawi cichlids and they all pick on one another. Smaller cichlid. Any ideas? Well, I'll tell you, fish are like chickens, and chickens are like terrorists. They'll always pick on the smallest, most vulnerable guy. Fish are the same way. And it almost doesn't matter what fish it is. Taking out the most dominant fish rarely helps because someone else will move up to that level. Taking out the one that's getting beaten up will help that one, but they'll simply pick on somebody else. If you got Malawi cichlids, you're going to wind up, if it's a 55 or smaller, you're going to wind up with one fish in the tank. May take 2 or 3 years, but it'll happen because they're just aggressive and they're territorial. There's not much for it. Um, a nice way to deal with it, if you can, is to put them in ponds of just a bigger body of water where they can establish territories. Their territory is like a 2 to 3 foot area once they're 6 to 8 inches. And they'll chase a fish 2 feet out of their territory and come back. Rose says, I think I may have to get a computer in order to drop links. Oh, maybe. You're using your phone. That's a little tricky. Sean, how to take, well, I don't know how to do that, Ro. You're way ahead of me already. How to tame my Midas fish, man. They are. How to tame my Midas. Oh, dear. Yeah, put him in a tank by himself is the very best way. You know, that's what the Orientals do. They they keep their big fish in tanks by themselves, one fish to a tank. Get down here a little lower. There we go. It's really the safest way to keep big fish. But then what they're doing, I should say, is they're focusing on the beauty of that fish, the quality of that fish. So they're trying to get a really healthy, big, beautiful fish without being concerned about the interplay of other fish. I spoke to one of the young men from Taiwan who developed the flower horn. There were a group of 4 young guys. They bought a bunch of Central Americans from me and to be able to continue that work. But they opened a shop. The shop had something like 200 tanks, all 29-gallon tanks. Every tank had one fish in it, one flower horn, nothing else, one flower horn. And if you want big fish, that's really kind of what you have to get to. Now, there is an exception to that, and there's a way to do it. I have a 200-gallon tank that has about 50 fish in it. None of them are real big, but I've got some 6-inch Oscars, and it's a mixed group. It's got parrots and peacocks and Malawis and South Americans, all kind of more rough stuff. I rarely have a loss in there, and I've got little ones in there besides. There are so many fish that they lose track of each other, and so you don't get the aggression of one fish beating up on one other, or a group of fish beating up on one. Every once in a while, a new fish will go in there and not make it, but generally they do well. So that's a way to do it. Have a big tank and load it up. Boy, when this thing jumps, it jumps. Okay, let's see if I can do this now. Fishy Fun shopping on Amazon. Zen Ginger is here. Hi, Zen. Sean, Chewy. Yeah, I've been trying to. I finally figured out how to keep killies here in my shop. So I need to get hold of the AKA, one of the guys there, and have them send me about 6 varieties so I can get them going. Killies are such wonderful fish. It's a bit of a specialty, but that's something I really want to work on. Jody, you have ram eggs. Wow. They will hatch in 24 to 36 hours. Yeah, it's normal for a few to turn white. Leave them in there. Leave them in there until the babies are free swimming. The day the babies are up and swimming, you have to either take the parents out or take the babies out. If you're going to take the babies out, use a siphon and just siphon them into a container, and then put them in something with the same water in it. You'll need a micro worm culture to feed them. They're pretty tiny, and then you can graduate from that to baby brine shrimp or golden pearls or some other baby food. Congratulations, you're on your way. They were struggling to get a pair of rams, and this is great. They've been able to get eggs. This they was just last week when they got them. Very nice. Yeah, chicken will pick to death any bird with blood. They sure will. Says Fishy Fun 57. Rose, would you like to tell everyone what videos we have planned? Or maybe leave them waiting in suspense. Well, Rose coming down to visit in a week or two, and we're going to do. She's challenged me to dig out my um, microscope, so I'm going to dig out my microscope, and she and I are going to put it to work and look at some of the substrate that I've been bragging about. So that'll be pretty interesting. That'll be on a weekend, Friday or Saturday. Uh, might not be scheduled much ahead. Just have to kind of look for it, and we'll try to fit it in. Maybe late afternoon. This actually seems to be a good time. Is there anybody else on that we're bumping? I'm amazed at how many people have tuned in. It looks like it's a really good time to be on. And then Sunday evening, she's going to be with Jay Funk and is going to be doing a video with him. I talked to him yesterday, and he's looking forward to your coming up. Video of the process. Susan. Sean's putting an Oscar in a hospital tank. One Oscar. Support Father for the channel, Patreon. Yes, Patreon. I'm starting to get new stuff there that's more interesting, less kind of YouTube oriented. Things like my stitches. No, that's days ago. I would appreciate any support I can get there. I may well wind up moving over more seriously to Patreon. It simply pays better. Unless I'm able to get up to 4,000 or 5,000 by the end of the year, which is pretty unlikely. I expect I'll hit 25 to 3,000 unless they can really start beefing it up. I've been kind of sick. I've been down and low energy for a while. So I haven't done much during the month of February, kind of drifted. I'm hoping to get some energy back, get some weight off, get built back up, and start cranking up a lot of new videos. Sean is talking about Kelly's, I guess. Nice to have you with us, Alice. Sorry we're keeping you up. Then Ginger's helping out Rue. Yeah, sure enough, a lot of favorite fish are small monsters. They sure are. Are the seahorses doing well? Medical high? Yes, they are. I'm really kind of amazed. I got about 20 of them in. I've not lost one. Normally, I'll lose 3 or 4 after the first week or so, but we've been feeding them small shrimp, and that's a natural food for them. So they seem to be doing really well on it. They're a little tricky to keep. Um, Precious called earlier today to ask about setting up. She's got somebody to help her set up a saltwater tank. That's kind of the key, to set up a really healthy saltwater tank and then introduce them and try to get a meeting. Um, they die easily. It's the best I can tell you. Aqua balls. Hi, aqua balls. Teresa, Sean. Sean, what's your water? What's the pH and hardness of your water? Yeah, I agree with you, Chewy. Doesn't matter what size of the fish is. Chewy or adapted as distilled rainwater, and last resort. RO. Yeah, I use RO. I have a lot of RO. High aquaballs. I think I got to the bottom. Fish Kid Jake is here. Hello, hello. Came home to find my red tail on the carpet. Oh my word. Yeah, you got to cover these guys. You just have to. Thank you, Zen, for promoting Get Gills. I have a lot of plants on Get Gills. I also have the dirt supplement, so that's available there as well. And it's enough to do 100 gallons, 100-gallon tank. Fish House has donated 5 pounds. Thank you, Fish House. That's very generous and very kind of you. I do appreciate it. Hello, let's see. Chewy saying hi to Danica. Small opening and back by the filter. Wow. Yeah. Hate to say it, but I use sponge filters so I don't have openings on the top because they will look for a hole. Perfect for shelter 8 to 8.5. Sean, that's your water is perfect for anything. Anything. You don't need to soften it. Hard water is perfect for all virtually. See, the thing you got to understand about the most popular and common fish is that they have all been bred in captivity for many, many, many generations, for 50 years or more. And most of them were bred here in Southwest Florida, where the water is like liquid stones. It's 8.0 and better. So they have adapted. You take, for example, an angelfish from Florida that's in 8.0 water. You put it in 6.0 water, even if you try to acclimate it, it will die. Oh my God, Alice, Alice, oh Alice. Alice just donated NOK 100. I assume that's equal to $10. I'm teasing. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Alice. Your generosity overwhelms me. It really does. Dan's fish. Glad to see you're well. Well, I'm working at being well. I'm going to keep talking about Alice. She stopped, the only reason she did this is because she got so tired and sleepy. She didn't realize what she was doing. Alice, I love you. You're a sweetheart. How absolutely amazing. Thank you so very, very much. NOK. Whatever NOK is. The Northern Kingdom. Norwegian crowns. Norwegian crown. That's what that is. Thanks for all you do and teach us. Thank you so much. I cherish you, as I cherish so all of those who seem to find something in what I'm doing that they take joy in. And there are just more and more of you. And it makes me feel like life's worth living. It's really a joy. So thank you again so very, very much. Let's see. Norwegian crown. Sharpie says, hi, Dan. Chewy. The stockfish coming from the industry have been really affected by hard water and in ways that is a concern for restocking fish in their natural habitat. Well, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. These are fish fit for the hobby. They're not fit for restocking. Um, Restocking requires keeping fish in the same water they're naturally in. And there's really been very few efforts to do that. There have been some. Killifish are one of the most popular. Um, but beyond that, there's really not been a lot of effort to keep fish in the water that they come from. Frank White. Hello, Frank. Let's see. Oh. We got 40 people watching. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I think I may come on at 5 o'clock. Did anyone check to see if I'm bumping anyone or coming up against anyone? Struggle to keep my hemi and citrus in hard water. Yeah, very hard water 8-2. Do keep a lot of fish in that water. Many that I alter the water with RF. Well, I can't do it with G. Clown Killies. I can do it with Scarlet Batis, but they prefer the softer water. I keep saltwater systems here at the shop. Killies, obviously. I find they do better with guppies in soft water than hard water. Don't know why that is exactly. And I'm not sure it's got to do with the water as much as with parasites in the hard water systems. What else? Bettas. Bettas I do much better in soft water. I tend to keep them in soft water, although they do fine in hard water. Discus back there, we're going through the starts of commercial. Yeah, Discus is a good case in point because it's only been, Zen says, it walked off and came back to 2 super chats. Amazing, isn't it? Zen, are there any other streams going on right now? We're talking about discus. I was with a breeder 25 years ago here in the Tampa area who was breeding in soft acid water with great success. Actually, 2 breeders. It's only been in the last 25 years that the Florida farmers have insisted on keeping them and breeding them in hard alkaline water. And I think it's a selective process, frankly, because they've got fish now that lay eggs in hard water and they hatch. Let's see, did I miss? There's Alice and the fish house. Yes. And thank you, fish house. Let's see where we are. Aquaballs have some 3 weeks old. Don't know what. And sees, oh, rams. Yeah, they jump up real quick and they're so pretty. Such a nice fish. You might, Jody, when you're ready, you can float. If you put them in a jar, you can float that jar in the tank. Just make sure it's not going to sink, or they'll all disappear. And then change the water if you're going to do that. Change the water every day, or at least siphon off the bottom. Put a little tiny sponge filter in with them. That'll keep the water sweet. Keep the biologicals working. And then after a week or 2, you can transfer them to a small tank. Desert pupfish, too, he's talking about. Well, I was telling you, I met her, taught my father I water fish. I've got pupfish here that are local. They're brackish waterfish found all along the East Coast and the Gulf. I spawned them last late spring, early summer, and they turned a brilliant black. It was just, the males were spectacularly beautiful. I do have a video on them spawning. If you look, you can find it. It's on the video list. And these came out of brackish water. I've got them in hard alkaline water, my regular tap water, and they've been in there for a year, and they're doing fine. So they're somewhat adaptable, but it's still hard water. J. Rowe just got home from work. Welcome. Good time to get Europeans and Brits on a stream. I couldn't agree more. And there are some really fine fish keepers in Germany and in England, and I dare say in Denmark. Send Ginger. Huh. Larry D. Thanks and more. Hello, hello. My goodness. Summer's hit our native wildlife hard, toxicology blooms and botulism. Are you Australia or are you, Teresa? JN, thank you. Alice. Alice should be sleeping, she says. She's waiting for one more gem, one more jewel. She even paid for the right. The most things do good in my water since this is Sean. Never considered killie. Just got to do research first. There are killies in hard water. Rockabye Ellis on the treetop, says Sharpies. You betcha. Cardinals in the 70s, we had to adapt to 6'6" back and then try to bring it up to 82. Yeah. In the 70s, that's right. Zen says, I do not see anything scheduled for another hour unless Bob Kaler starts his train. But I don't see him scheduled yet. This is a great time. I'm kind of impressed with how many people have been plugging in. It's more than are tuning in the afternoon. So, and it'll be a lot easier to do evenings or early evening. Won't get the traffic, which pulls me away. Waterbarn Tropicals, hello from the Netherlands. Why do my Odessa barbs breed in the pond in summer, but don't in their planted tank in the winter? No other fish had it. Thanks for the things you do. One of the things that we lose track of in the hobby is that fish are seasonal. Their biological cycle is seasonal. And so they'll build up their energy, their egg mass, their sperm count. They'll get fully fed up by early summer and will then spend the next 2 or 3 months spawning and essentially deplete themselves so that by the fall and winter, they're just kind of hanging on. And then the next spring, they begin eating again and building up their reserves. That's a pretty common pattern. We don't see it quite so much in aquariums, but I think if you will track the breeding of your angelfish, for example, you'll find that they are breeding seasonally. It may not be quite the same season that they would if they were in the wild, but they'll breed for several months and then not breed at all for several months or longer. So they don't breed 100% of the time. I don't believe any fish breeds all the time. Could be wrong. Could be proven wrong. but I'm going to stick to that until I hear something different. Have you ever kept gobies, and is it easy? Gobies, medical high TV, are extremely easy to keep. I've never bred, well, no, I did breed them once. I bred saltwater blenny, saltwater goby. Um, it was an antenna goby from brackish water. I bred it some years ago. It spawned. The egg sat fertile in that container for a month, and I think I gave up. I don't remember whatever happened, but I'm not sure they hatched. But they sure looked fertile to me. They were bright orange through that whole period. I think to do gobies, you need to feed heavily, feed well, and keep them by themselves. They don't like a lot of competition. They're kind of a gentle, quiet fish, unless you get the big cow goby, and that's something else again. Do I throw away my filter media when shutting down? Um, well, it's going to dry out. I don't, you could put it in the bag, but it's going to be stinky. Yeah, I would get rid of it. Just plan on new filter media when you start. You could let it dry out and then just add water to it when you start up again. It'll retain a certain amount, but you're looking for live bacteria, and it's not going to stay live. It will reculture pretty quickly from the water that's in the system. And if you've got a deep sand bed, you've got a rich bacteria culture in there anyway. So I would throw away the filter media if you're going to be gone for a number of months. It'll either dry out or it'll be a stinky mess that you won't want to deal with. Let's see now if I can do this without jumping 20 lines ahead. How do I do this? Do I click on? If I click, then I jump too far ahead. Okay, we're back to the barbs and the media and Susan. Okay. Contain media in Ziploc bags. Yeah, Chewy says you can do it. I would trust the man. He knows what he's talking about. Alice K wants to know if Mandy's getting seahorses. Rose Aquatics. Looked online to Fisher Fever. It had Kaler's Aquatics at 6. What time is it? 5:52. We're moving right along. Zen wants to do, I can set you up, Zen. If you can do a tank, I'll send you seahorses. They ship really well. And I got a bunch of them that are doing very well. Hi, redfish, bluefish. Nice to see you. Kept Cervasser Tang in a Ziploc bag for 2 years. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Teresa's in New Zealand. Oh, a lot of domesticated live bears were developed in Germany, including the London German veil-tailed black mollies that he got from Dr. Norton. So that was soft water, I would think. Melaine says, Father Fish, I take your advice about the shredded chicken and garlic. I'm now growing garlic to feed my plecos. They love it. My plex wanted me to tell you thanks. Well, tell your plex I'm happy for them that they got something they really love. And I don't know that I've fed garlic specifically to plecos, but that's on my list. Hi, Cheryl. Been doing water changes. Nice to have you catch up with us. Nothobranchus, Shuey's talking about, a good hardwater genus. And the Nothos are really a very, very pretty fish. One of the easiest ones because their eggs don't need to be dried out. Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. An old trained Aquarius, thanks to my mentors. Yeah, I know about that. James had him scheduled. Don't see it scheduled. Guess we'll see in 15 minutes. Lumpy Dog is in the house. Hello, Lumpy Dog. Alice Cage doesn't like the stream time. I hear you, baby. I do hear you. I'm gonna. Well, I started doing 2 o'clock for you. I guess I'm just gonna have to do an Alice stream at 2 o'clock. That's like 6 or 7 your time. I will do that. We'll pick a day. You pick a day. You said Monday, Tuesday don't work for you. So Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe Wednesday. Well, I do. I'm doing this on Wednesday. Um, you pick a day and I'll do it. I'll do a stream for Alice once a week at a time of her liking. Susan should be napping. Jody, okay. She's going to do that, she says. The sex ratio of the crevens is affected by the rainforest cycles. The harder the water, the more males, the softer, more females. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely. Zoogenic tequila. The Shelleys breed year round. Yeah, I'm sure I can be found wrong on that, but there aren't many. Susan. Hi, Madfish Diva. Good night, Alice. Thank you, dear heart. Let's see. What do you want? Mugalagobius adei. Adea. Huh. Where are they native to, Sean? Okay, Roy's on at 6. So we can run over a little bit. I'd just like to get caught up here. I'm not caught up. Back in the 70s. Yeah, the 70s were kind of a heyday, weren't they? And then everything just sort of collapsed. Cribs are magnificent in a tank, rarely so in a shop. I'm going to have to jump down. I can't get past the arrow. Moreno Gonzalez. Does any one of you inoculate your newly installed tanks with mud from biotopes of nature? I do this regularly to preserve bacteria and living things. That is absolutely perfect. In fact, I'm going to be doing a series of videos as soon as my hand gets better on that very topic, where we're going to be showing taking dirt right out of the body of water and setting up tanks with it. It's absolutely perfect. You're a genius. And I've lost you. Or there it is. Okay. Chevy, a lot of great fish keepers in that time period. Yeah, you bet. And they all grew up in the 40s and 50s. Really, in the 50s. The 50s that was the decade. 50s and the 60s were the heyday for tropical fish. It was just madness on the East Coast. Like Matanu in Indonesia. Interesting. Um, I've got a contact. I'm going to look into that. Maybe I can get some. Nocturnal Aquarius just got home from his new job at his local fish store. Congratulations. Hope it all goes well for you. Doesn't care what you want or like. Be nice to each other. It's all we got, says Lumpy Dog. Kaler, I'll wait on you, Father Fish. No rush. I don't have any specific topic. Want to heat up food and come back blue. Came back blue. Teresa is leaving. Good day. And we're asking about going to Aquashella. I'm going to go to Miami in June, so I'll see some of you there. Carrie Nature, wondering how I got a wrench. Somebody gave it to you. The wrench fairy. That's what it was. Aqua Apprentice. Good to catch a live one. Nice to see you, Aqua Apprentice. Yeah, we're kind of running out of steam here, but good to have you with us. New Zealand, Total Tropicals. Teresa's from New Zealand. Aha. Don't slop water on a nice mouse. Yeah, I guess. Jay Rubin out for 20 years and getting back in. Start where you were 20 years ago and you'll be ahead of the game, Jay. Don't try to catch up. Ain't nothing happened in the last 20 years you need to know about. What show is in Miami? The Libraries Association, ALA, American Libraries. And I think is it Better or Guppy are meeting with them. Guppy, I think. A planted tank with native fish in Pennsylvania. Good idea. I'm going to give you some clues on doing that. There's so many really cool fish in PA. That'll be fun to do. That was Punchy who messed up her mouse. Oh dear. Oh dear. Start screaming. Kayla's going to stream. I'm going to get out of here. Kayla, thank you. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off and give Kayla next dibs. Good to be with you all. Thank you so much for plugging in. Hit the like button if you haven't. We are one shy of 50. We need just one more to hit the like button. Do it, do it, do it, do it. And nobody's going to do it. That's funny. All right. God bless you all. Nice to be with you. You've picked me up and put me back on the mountain. I love you all. Take care now. I'll be around on Sunday. See you Sunday. Signing off in 10 seconds. Count them down. I'm 53. Cool. 54. God bless you, Susan. Bye, all.